history of world.
On July 13th, Donald Trump was shot by a gunman during a campaign rally on Saturday in what the FBI called an attempted assassination of the former U.S. president, who survived the attack and appeared to have a wounded ear. However, this was not the first time assassination attempt on politicians took place in home of democracy. 4 presidents of USA have lost their life due to this dark violence. Let's discuss all of them in this video. Number 1. Lincoln, who played an important role in Civil War of USA, was the first president to be assassinated, shot by John Wilkes Booth on April 14, 1865, as he and his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, were at a special performance of the comedy Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater in Washington. After he was shot, Lincoln was taken to a house across the street from the theater for medical treatment after he was shot in the back of the head. He died the next morning. His support for black rights has been cited as a motive behind his killing. His killer, John Wick Booth, was tracked down and found on April 26, 1865, by Union Army soldiers at a farm in Virginia, some 70 miles, 110 kilometers, south of Washington. After refusing to surrender, Booth was fatally shot by Union cavalryman Boston Corbett. 4 other conspirators were later hanged for their roles in the conspiracy. Number 2. Garfield was the second president to be assassinated, as he was walking through a train station in Washington on July 2, 1881, to catch a train to New England when he was shot by Charles Guiteau. Guiteau falsely believed he had played a major role in Garfield's election victory, for which he should have been rewarded with a consulship. He felt frustrated and offended by the Garfield administration's rejections of his applications to serve in Vienna or Paris to such a degree that he decided to kill Garfield and shot him. Guiteau was immediately arrested. After a highly publicized trial lasting from November 14, 1881 to January 25, 1882, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. For the next 11 weeks, Garfield endured the pain and suffering from having been shot, before dying on September 19, 1881 at 10:35 p.m. Number 3. William McKinley, the 25th president, was shot after giving a speech in Buffalo, New York on September 6, 1901. He was shaking hands with people passing through a receiving line when a man fired 2 shots into his chest at point-blank range. Doctors had expected McKinley to recover, but gangrene then set in around the bullet wounds, due to which he lost the battle of his life. Leon F. Czolgosz, an unemployed 28-year-old Detroit resident, admitted to the shooting. Members of the crowd, started by James Benjamin Parker, subdued and captured Czolgosz. Afterward, the 4th Brigade, National Guard Signal Corps, and police intervened, beating Czolgosz so severely it was initially thought he might not live to stand trial. On September 24th, after a 2-day trial, in which the defendant refused to defend himself, Czolgosz was convicted and later sentenced to death. He was executed by the electric chair in Auburn Prison on October 29, 1901. Number 4. John F. Kennedy was fatally shot by a hidden assassin armed with a high-powered rifle as he visited Dallas in November 1963 with First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. Shots rang out as the president's motorcade rolled through Dealey Plaza in downtown Dallas. Kennedy was rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital, where he died soon after. The person behind the assassination, Lee Harvey Oswald, was arrested and charged by the Dallas Police Department for the assassination of Kennedy and for the murder of Dallas policeman J.D. Tippit, who was shot dead in a residential neighborhood in the Oak Cliff section of Dallas just hours later. On Sunday, November 24th, while being transferred from the city jail to the county jail, Oswald was fatally shot in the basement of Dallas Police Department headquarters by Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby. In September 1964, the Warren Commission concluded that Kennedy and Tippit were both killed by Oswald, that Oswald had acted entirely alone in both murders, and that Ruby had acted alone in killing Oswald. Nonetheless, polls conducted from 1966 to 2004 found that up to 80% of Americans surveyed have suspected that there was a plot or cover-up to kill President Kennedy.